I thought the Knicks were out of their mind to pay this guy over 100 million, even though it wasn't like a supermax deal. And I knew what he did last year in Dallas in the postseason with Luka. But I thought that was a small sample size. I was not sold or convinced that Jalen Brunson had shown us stability enough to get that type of deal from New York when there were other people I felt like New York could have chased with the money if they would have been patient. But they made the move, and man, Jalen Brunson is balling. I mean, he's really changed my mind as far as the type of player he is and the impact that he's having over there in New York. And that's a couple things I wanted to talk about when we lock in with Jalen Brunson. But before we get into that part, I do find this a little bit disrespectful. This is the actual fan vote for the NBA All-Star game. And if you look, teammate Derrick Rose is number 9 in the guard voting for the NBA fan votes. Jalen Brunson is not even in the top 10, which is really interesting to me. And they got Derrick Rose at number 9. So I really feel like the fans, again, don't know what they're talking about. And they definitely dropped the ball with that one. But yeah, he's been definitely doing his thing. He's been very impressive. And you talk about the impact on the New York Knicks culture. Like you look at the Knicks, man, they got a winning record. Those guys, when I look at their team, I still don't think that they are finishing product. I know Julius Randle's playing well. RG Bird is playing very well. They got their things together. They be clicking on both ends of the court. But I'm not sold that that roster is the team that's going to really get it done. I still think that they got room for immediate improvement. I like Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? I like him in New York, but I think he definitely has trade value, a little bit of potential, depending on if the system needs him. So the Knicks got a lot of upside as long as the injury bug don't hurt them. But Jalen Brunson, you know, he's bringing clutch gene to New York. They got some ballers in New York, but they don't have a lot of guys that's been proven to be able to get it done in the clutch. And he looked like the one that wants that basketball when the games are close and things of that nature. Like, you got to be impressed with the drive of Jalen Brunson. And like I said, man, he's definitely changing my mind because I wasn't sold that he could keep this up. And to be honest, that he was worth the 100 and something million from New York. But he definitely has proved me wrong. And he got New York playing very well, man. Like I said, they got a winning record. They have few games over 500. So this is not like an anomaly or nothing like that. Like, the Knicks are really doing their thing. Now, better fit for Jalen Brunson, staying in Dallas or going to New York? I mean, this is iffy. If you talk short term, if Jalen Brunson would have stayed in Dallas, with the way that the power is shifting in the conferences, because I believe the Eastern Conference is getting a little bit tougher, the Western Conferences are getting a little bit weaker. Jalen Brunson would have another shot to go back to the Western Conference Finals, maybe even the NBA Finals this year, if he would have stayed in Dallas. However, I don't think that they would have been able to get it done, make it to the finals, or even win the NBA Finals without more help. So even though he probably would have went back to the Western Conference Finals with Luka, they more than likely would have lost, and then we'd have still had more questions arising in the offseason of Dallas not having enough. What are they going to do? Then they might be using this guy's trade bait like he's more of a liability than the asset. So big picture wise, and then you got a lot of young talent. New York is the biggest market. So big picture wise, I think the better fit for Jalen is going to be in New York. You see how well he's playing right now. So even if New York wants to go in a different direction for whatever reason, Jalen has put himself in position where his stock is up. So I don't think he's going to have any problem being successful in New York or moving forward. I am being sold that dude is consistent. He's definitely played at an all-star level. I don't know how long he got until that actually can change. But if he doesn't make the all-star team and Derrick Rose do, I'm sorry, I got to keep it real. Shout out to Derrick Rose, but I would have to talk to the damn bosses. I'm not even going to. Last but not least, man, how far could Jalen Brunson take the New York Knicks? How far could Jalen Brunson take the New York Knicks? You know, one part of me feel like sky's the limit. Orange and blue skies. They looking like a team that can make the playoffs, not just the play-in. They look like they definitely can win a series, depending on who they matched up with. If they healthy, if they are clicking. I like the way Julius Randle is playing with his conviction. New York can be one of those teams that can give some teams some problems. So I do think that he can take them into April, maybe even into May. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks are playing exceptionally well. So I am sold that Jalen Brunson is the real deal. He's definitely changed my mind on that notion. How far can he actually take the Knicks? Like I said, I'll give them definitely playoff contention. I'll give them maybe even a first round win, depending on who they matched up with. I still think the Knicks need a lot of work to do. Not a whole lot, but that roster, it's like they're missing a piece or two, but they're going to have to give up. Like they're going to have to shake some things up in New York. It's just going to be interesting to see how management play with these pieces. Because if you get rid of the wrong piece, it all falls down. But if you make the right moves, man, New York could definitely be one of those competitors in the Eastern Conference who's coming back to be looking like the best conference in the NBA.
Okay, now AR with the cooler kick. Keep street, we run this shit. Fell back after run it up. Then my last bitch, she was dumb as fuck. Hop out, get the spraying something. Cause my last ops wasn't saying nothing. Whole stunting, big pimpin', whole hunting. 38 with the cooler kid in the mall with me like Joe Budden. These hoes front.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.